The Awakening of Humanity, Why It's Taking So Long. I'm Brian Withers, empowerment coach, trainer, and author. What is the awakening of humanity? Well, it is the understanding of the way that life really works, why we came here, and who we are, and how everything is set up to serve and support us at all times to have the joyous life that we want. And I talk about that in pretty much every video, so I won't go into it a lot here. But what I want to talk about here is why it's taking so long, because many people are thinking that it's about manifestation techniques and using energy to get yourself things, kind of like money, only using energy. And it's nothing like that. And that's part of the confusion that's taking things so long to understand and allow ourselves to receive what we want. It's about it flowing into our life, not making it happen, not getting it, not using a technique or anything like that. It's about allowing for the flow of it. So why are we not allowing for the flow of it? Well, let's take a look at an example that might help put this into context as to why we're not understanding how to use our powerful conscious mind and play in the sandbox of joyous expansion. We came for a great life. And it's not the way that it is for humanity. And it's not been that way for a long time. And so we want to get to it. And so let me give you this little story here that may help understand what's gone on and how we correct everything so we get back into living that joyous life that we came for. So if you were going to go to a school, you wanted to build houses, let's say. So you went to a building school that showed you how to do it. And you were pretty excited because once you got into that school, you thought, okay, I'm going to learn how to do this. And then, and I come out the other side, I'm going to have the skills and knowledge, everything to put a really solid house together. Whatever kind of house it is that I want to build, I can build it. I'll have that ability. And so you go through the school, and then what happens is you come out the other side and you start building houses, and they come out like this. You build one house, and it's like, well, that's a wreck. That's a mess. So you go at it again, and really not much better. It didn't come out much good at all. And then you go back at it again, and same thing. It just keeps being the same thing. Didn't seem to change at all from house to house. But yet you went to school and you had this information. So then you do a little looking around, and you figure out that, well, that school really didn't teach me the way to really build properly, not according to the code of building. So you're confused now. What's going on here? Why did I go to this school and learn how to do it? But they taught me ways that weren't really the correct ways to do it. So I ended up with something that I didn't really like. So now I want to go to the school that really shows me how to do it, so that once I'm finished, when I build houses, they really do turn out like this, because this is what I really want to have happen. So you can probably see where I'm going with this. So in that example, you see when you get knowledge that is faulty, you end up with results that are faulty. And when you get knowledge that is accurate, you get results that are accurate. So we go to school in the schools that we have on our planet, and we learn what it is that supposedly is going to let us get the education, the knowledge that will allow us to work at a certain job or run a business, or whatever we want to do in that area. And from that, we're going to get this. We're going to get money, and it's going to take care of everything in our life. It's going to give us all the goodies. It's going to make life really flow for us. We'll have the material wealth that we want, and our health will be good, and our relationships will be good, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and it's all going to be peaceful because everything is flowing for us. We get lots of this money, and everything is going to be good. So that's what we think when we're going in. Just the kind of the same as the building school when the person was going into that first building school. But we know as we look around the planet, life is not turning out to be that experience that we sort of have in our mind as we go through school. It turns out more like this, where the relationships that we have in our life are at odds in some way. They're not flowing smoothly. It may be sometimes and sometimes not, and then maybe not much at all. A business that we're running, for one reason or another, it's not quite going smooth, and it's not peaceful at all. And then we really don't have the money that we want, and to think that we're going to have other things, and we don't have, say, the house or the car that we want, and we put up and tolerate with things that we don't want. And so, we're nervous about how we're going to get what we want. We're worried about it. We have questions like, why are things turning out the way that they're turning out? Why am I not? I did everything they said. I did all the things. I went to school. I learned everything they said. And I got the money even. I even got money. And still, my life is not the way that I want it to be. And we see that all across the planet, that maybe some aspects of life, but complete peace across the board where everything is flowing and it's always enjoyable. That is something that is not happening in any big way on this planet. And so, as you can see, it's the same kind of thing as that building scenario that I painted. Go to a school, you don't get all the information, and what do you get? A result that reflects that. And so it's the same thing. We're not getting all the information. We're going to school, but we're not getting all the information. And just to add to this, sometimes we don't go to school. There's people that don't go to school, and then they have ideas about how to live their life and have the life that they want. And really, for the most part, they're still after the dollars, and the dollars are going to lead to this life of riches in every way, and it really doesn't turn out that way, because to have complete fulfillment, there's only one thing that allows you to live a life of complete fulfillment, and that's when you bring in vibration. Because the creative process shows us that asking for what we want is automatic, and that's the contrast, and then our inner being sets up the expansion. And then as we're in this high vibration energy, then everything comes flowing into our life, including money. Money will come in too. When you got high vibration, that's the real currency of life. So you see, we really didn't get the education that has us pointed in the right direction. We've got education about how to make things happen, how to figure things out, and work hard, or whatever it is that you think that is going to get you this life. And yet it's not happening. It's not happening. So we want to have the awakening is about learning how life really works and using your powerful thinking mind, because your thought energy is the energy that you're communicating with the law of attraction. Then the law of attraction, of course, is connecting you with the details that are either that high vibration or low vibration energy. And that determines what's going to flow. Is it if it's high vibration, then this is going to flow, and it's effortless and automatic, and there is action and mental use and all that kind of thing, but it's from a flow of high vibration energy. So it all is synchronized. It all flows easily and effortlessly in our days. And so if we're transmitting that kind of energy to the law of attraction, we're getting that kind of life. That's our natural life. But if we're not, if we're thinking we're going to get things, you see, and right out of the gate, when you think you're going to get something, you have low vibration. That's a feeling of absence and uncertainty, and you're not sure. And so, see, that's what affects the vibration, and then it affects the things that are manifesting. And that's why our life is not all we want it to be, because we're all thinking of all kinds of things about if we're going to do the right things to make it happen, and if it's going to last, and are we certain that, are we doing it the right way, and are we good enough? And then all of that enters into the equation. You see, they don't teach us that in school. We don't get taught emotional intelligence. We do not get taught vibrational intelligence. That's really the same thing, emotional and vibrational intelligence. We don't get taught that. So we don't get taught the way that life really works. We don't get taught that high vibration frequency is the currency of life, and it gets everything. Of course, money is part of the picture. Nothing wrong with money at all. It's a means of exchange, but it will come to you when your vibration is high. It will show up in your life as part of the path, and the resources and the timing and everything. Your inner being takes care of all of that. And it's energy, so if you want to have it manifest in some amount, you could do that too, and then, use it to do whatever you want to do with it. But you don't have to go through that sort of side gate. You can just want what you want. Your inner being will line up all the money flow and resources and people and everything else. So you can do that either way, but it's the vibration that's going to bring it. It's the vibration, high vibration is going to bring the money. The money is not the currency of life. It's vibration, you see, and we don't get taught that. So that's what this enlightenment is all about, is finally learning that our thought energy is the currency of life, and that is the stuff that's really going to allow our life to flow. And when we're flowing in our day with that kind of energy, then what comes into our experiences are the details that connect us with all the things that we want to experience. And the path of details is a big part of the joy of life. It's not that we came here for the things exclusively. Sure, we're going to enjoy those, but it's also what happens on the way, the things, the people that we meet, the things that we do, the things that we see, all of that part of it. That's the fun. You don't want to be in a hurry for that to go by. You want to invite the path and enjoy the path, and then there's the receiving. And when you're certain that what you want is done and it's on the way to you right now, and it comes along that path, then see, you're relaxed and everything is easy. But again, we don't learn that in our school. So we're growing up, approaching life without the power of our mind and with the way that it really works. And so we're trying to make all kinds of things happen. We're trying to do things to get things when we didn't come for that at all. We came to enjoy lots of things, that's for sure, but contrast automatically happens. It's set up by our inner being. And then as we're positively focused in our day about anything for any reason, and we can use conditional things or we can use unconditional things. And the uncondition of feeling good is really knowing how life works. When you know that you're born worthy and deserving and gifts and talents and basically born perfect and born a success, when you know that, and then you know all the universal elements are working for you, and that contrast automatically happens, which means your inner being automatically gives you what you want, then there's nothing to not feel happy about. You see, you don't care about what the conditions are, because if something's not working, you know that something better is on the way. So why be bothered and upset about what appears to be not working? It's the natural contrast of life, but we don't get taught that information, and so it makes life very rough, because our interpretation of things that aren't working is their problems, their struggles, or crisis, their trauma. We got all kinds of labels for them when they're actually a very good part of life. They're the creative process part of expansion, I should say contrast, which leads to the expansion. So there's never anything gone wrong. There's never a bad day, but we don't get taught that in school. And so that's what the awakening is, and that's what my book, The Book of Life, is all about, the creative process, the knowledge of life, that now we're going to get that, and we're going to be able to be in our thought energy that's high vibration, so that this is the life that we live. We do have peace with everything. Everything's flowing for us. All areas of life, health and wealth and vocation and relationships. Everything is just flowing for us, because we're going to learn to flow in our daily life in natural high vibration thought energy about everything that goes on in our day. So we take money out of this equation over here, and then we replace that. And that's what awakening is bringing in the fact of our vibrational nature, and our thoughts are energy and they are vibration, and we're communicating with the law of attraction in that way. And based on how we communicate, then that's what the law of attraction brings back to us, the path to what we want, or the path to more things that we don't want if it's low vibration energy, which is what we've been doing a lot of, and which is why life turns out like this, because we want things, we want relationships that are loving, but then we have all kinds of thoughts about relationships that aren't very loving. And what do we get? We get that version of the relationship. We worry about our business. We think we're without the things that we want. We are disappointed that we don't have what we want, and then we're blocking it. We may have a house and we want a different house, but we're disappointed in some way, or we're uncertain, or we're not knowing the new house is on the way, and so now we have low vibration energy and we can't receive the house. So you see, we just create these train wreck versions of our life because we do not have the knowledge of life. We got, just like the building school, the first time the person went to the building school, they went to a school where they got information that was faulty. It was lacking, it was missing pieces. And what did they get? They got these kinds of houses. But then they went back to school. And what did they get? They got a house that's solid, one that they really like. They were able to put it all together. So now that's what we're doing. We've gone to school and in different ways, not just formal school, but even if we learn things from the way life is or what we pick up along the way, we don't necessarily have to go to a formal school. But in either case, we're picking up a lot of faulty beliefs, a lot of missing information there, and we're trying to hack our way through life in a way that we're not meant to. We didn't come to do it like that. We didn't come to do it the way that we're doing it. We came for a very different way to do it. And we came to do it with our energy, our powerful thought energy. And when we do and we learn to do it, then this is our life. This is the life that we live, all of us, in our own way, whatever way we like it to be. There's no particular way. It's just whatever our gifts and talents are, whatever our preferences are, whatever our passions are. We get to decide using our thought energy, and in combination with all the resources of the creative process, they're going to support us to have all of that. But our part is we've got to supply this, though. This is our part. We supply that in our daily life. No matter what's going on, whatever we're looking at, we keep supplying this high vibration energy, and we can do it because the creative process helps us to understand how any given situation is serving us in very good ways. It's making us aware of our vibration, our beliefs. It's giving us awareness that something better has been set up for us to receive. And then there's just lots of great things to appreciate in your day and in your life, and things that are your favorites and positive aspects. So as we learn how to really focus our mind positively, then our results will be as the person who went back to school and got the correct and accurate building information and built the house that they want. We too can build the life that we want, and we do that by building our thought energy into those high vibration focus ways through our day. And then we're going to allow, see, this is allowing, because we're in that flow of high vibration energy. What naturally happens is it flows into our life. We don't have to make anything happen. We don't have to go get anything. It's a complete faulty belief. So in part 2 of this video here, I'm going to talk about specific things that we have learned in life, not only from school, from other ways and other places, that all took us down a path of faulty beliefs and made us think that life was to be lived in a certain way that's nowhere near close to the way it's set up to be lived. And so as you see that and you can identify that, you will see why we're so far off base and we're not receiving the things that we want. And you'll see how ineffective or really kind of nonsense, I guess, and it gets right down to it, that manifestation techniques are really ridiculous, because you're still trying to get something to happen. Instead of with money, you're going to use this technique with the law of attraction or whatever you heard somewhere. But it's not about getting. As soon as you've got this idea about I'm going to get something, I'm going to do something or use something to get something, you are completely out of the understanding of life. You're not awake to the true knowledge of life and how it works. So you got some awakening to do. And again, so in part 2, I'm going to show what it is that has put us to sleep, all the various things that have been going on the planet, and you can see very clearly why we're not living the life that we want to live because we're not using our thoughts in the way that we're meant to use them, not in the high vibration way, but in very low vibration ways. And then from that, you can see clearly that your work is to get back in school and to learn how to use your conscious thinking mind in a very effective and powerful way that you can. And again, my book of life and higher vibrations for health, happiness, and harmony, that 20-week program, are designed to give you that education. And when you get it, then you will flow in your natural life that you came for. So I'm going to leave this video here. And in the next one, again, I'm going to bring out a lot of the things that cause these faulty beliefs, that put us to sleep in a sort of a trance of faulty beliefs. And don't be surprised if it ruffles some feathers, because I'm going to talk about some things that that have been on this planet and have not been serving us. And I've always been one to call out on BS, and I'm going to be calling it out in the next video. So have a listen, and you'll be clear about what has caused us to be asleep to the natural ways of life, and then that we got to get back into school, emotional intelligence school, vibrational intelligence school, where we can learn and then use some thought therapy on ourselves to get our thoughts back in alignment and in the natural high vibration ways that allow us to live our high vibration life. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Thanks for listening in, and if you have any questions, leave them on the post, and have yourself a great day.